Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the garage, welcome back to fiberglassing the race truck. So as you guys know, we have our driver's side bedside mounted, we have our front clip mounted and hingeable, which I'm very happy about, just that it's killer. So anyway, we have more refinements to make on that for sure. We have some decisions to make about our driver's side bedside, like do we add another little clip here because, well, we got a little flex. Not that it's a big deal. I'm not concerned about it, but you know, do we put another push button latch in, or do we go over here and, you know, kind of run a stiffener from this bar down, touching the fiberglass to the other, like outrigger for our push button latch? I haven't figured that all out yet, but other than that, I'm very happy with how this turned out. I do plan on getting some like aluminum angle iron to put under these two push button latches, kind of run from here all the way to here. You know, like it's 8-foot bedside, so say 7.5 feet, just to kind of stiffen this up, give it a good straight line to it. But with the world kind of closing down, that's kind of hard to do right now. But as it sits, if it was running, which trust me, when I have an engine update, I will give it to you. You guys always ask, but just stuff's in the works. Anyhow, I feel that we could race with this bedside like that. So that being said, we have one more piece of fiberglass that we have to do, and that is the passenger side bedside. We have to get that all mounted, and we're going to do that just like the driver's side. So, you know, look at either side of the truck, they look the same as it should be. So looking at our passenger side bedside, I have it pretty well lined up as it is. I've spent a lot of time tonight trying to get it pretty close. We have it clamped to our little rig that our guy, MD Diesel Fab on the Instagram, let us borrow, which, man, without this rig, would have been a complete, well, I don't know how I would have done it. It would have been a complete mess. But with this thing, I'm able to fine tune it. As you guys can see from the back here, this thing is adjustable in and out. We made it, you know, just easier to adjust up and down with this all thread. But also I have a couple of clamps, as you can see, taped on here. So I can run the bedside in and out as I want, which I gotta release it and then pull. But then I can, you know, do the bottom, do the top, get everything lined up how I want it. And we have another clamp up there on our old bed mount doing the same thing, pushing it out just so we can get everything lined up. Of course, once we get our two top push button latches in, then, you know, the bottom's kind of easy, get it where you want it, and then make your other gussets or your other supports. So that is kind of where we stand with it. We're going to get ready to do our first push button latch up front, and then once we're happy with that, we'll do the rear. Like I said, we're going to do it exactly like this side. All of our latches, you know, in the same spots, so everything just kind of looks copacetic. Now, one thing I noticed with the driver's side over here, with this Brothers Racing Bodies fiberglass, as we said when we first got it, it felt like it's a little heavier than some other stuff. Like our GTS fiberglass doors are 12 pounds a piece, very light. These Brothers Racing Bodies bedsides do seem to be a tad heavier, maybe a tad thicker, but that being said, there's something very nice to be said about that. So guys, the nice thing about these bedsides, we only have our top mounting point here and here, but I can lean against this bedside like it was a normal truck. I have my full weight against it. I have 1 foot on the ground. I'm leaning on it. Not really a big deal. The whole thing's not flexing or anything like that. We have, you know, our 4 supports down here at the, you know, fender well and at the beginning and the end of the bedside, and just these 2 up top. Nothing spanning the middle. And I feel comfortable, like if we take this thing to the track and somebody comes up, wants to do the old "how you doing," we're good. I mean, this thing is sturdy. So might have a little bit more weight to it, but I feel very confident these things are going to hold up well. It just seems like it's very well put together. Like I said, maybe a touch more weight, but hey, if I had to worry about somebody leaning on my bedside all the time, that'd be a little bit of a pain. So anyway, guys, let's get to mounting that passenger side bedside and see if we can get that, at least off to a good start tonight. All right, so our first two supports for our bedside are in. Our front one, we have, everything's just tack welded, by the way, but we have our quick latch up top. We are welded to the frame. We also have our support going across from the down bar for the cage, just like on the other side. We also have the rear one in. Everything's tacked up, looking good. Also our MD Diesel Fab bedside, the word escapes me. Mock-up tool. Yeah, mock-up tool. That's what I wanted to say. Our MD Diesel Fab mock-up tool is now dislocated from the bedside. We don't need it anymore. We can actually remove it from the truck. Everything's looking good. Without this setup right here, this rig, this would have been, honestly, I don't know how I'd go about it. I just can't thank him enough for letting me borrow it. But anyway, theoretically, right now, we could remove the bedside, take it off, do other stuff to finish welding all this stuff. And, well, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. And back on. So our bedside is now mountable to the truck, which is good. What I'm actually going to do is remove the bedside once again. I'm going to finish weld all this stuff, and then we'll start working on our bottom bracketry. Basically, we're going to mirror the opposite side of the truck, and I'll probably just start off by making my quick latch holes, so that way, you know, we know what we're lining up to and all that. So one at the beginning of the bedside, one at the beginning of the wheel well, one at the end of the wheel well, and one at the end of the bedside. So I'm going to take this thing off and get some welding done, and then we'll start fabricating some more pieces for this and try and see how far we get on this bedside. These bedsides are certainly a task. Like I said, this fabrication tool, this mock-up tool that Mike at MD Diesel Fab lent me is fantastic. Without it, man, I don't know how I would have done it. But that being said, it's also a matter of you're trying to eye stuff up, and in the garage, you know, on the driver's side, I could really step back and take a good look at the whole truck and see how the lines were. Over on this side, obviously we got the garage wall, a little bit more of a pain trying to get everything lined up. Everything's not, you know, perfect yet. We'll dial things in as we go, which we did on the other side. So once I get everything finished welded in, our quick latch bolts, the little studs that come up, have adjustment. You know, I welded the one nut on the bottom of our steel that's going into our tube, and then the top one's just kind of a lock nut. So if our body line needs to come up or down in the front or back, we'll get that all situated after everything's finished welded. Then we'll start on the bottom quick latches. So that's where we're at. Yeah, let's get to doing it. So guys, it is now the following day. So last night got everything finished welded on our passenger side for our two uprights and our little bar, 5/16 bar that goes from our down bar of our cage. Got that all finished welded, rehung our bedside and all that, and honestly, I lost interest. These bedsides to me are kind of boring, they're monotonous. Even though we already have a layout on the driver's side of what we're gonna do, I just wasn't into it. Part of that is, you know, I've been pushing to get this thing to the track last year. That didn't happen. So this year I've been kind of, you know, hey, racing season's here. Got to get this thing going. You know, I don't want to miss any opportunity to get the truck out, all that kind of stuff. But with everybody having the sniffles and everything being shut down, that push or that drive to, we got to get this thing done, just wasn't there last night to, you know, push into the late hours of the evening and all that just to finish that task. But I need to kind of get that drive back so we can keep finishing the truck. I did order some parts after I got done last night and this morning, stuff that we need for the truck, like a fuel cell and things like that. So anyway, we're going to basically pick back up with what we're doing. I am going to take my measurements of where I have all the push button latches on the driver's side, and we're going to drill all those holes and put latches in on the passenger side and then build our bracing to it. Pretty simple. We already kind of came up with a game plan on this side, so we're just going to follow through with that and go from there. So that's the plan. Let's get to it. All right, so our bedside is fully installed. Our gap's looking good. Looking good on the wheel and tire. Yeah, pretty simplistic what we did, just mirroring the driver's side, but yeah, all coming together pretty good. We can easily remove our passenger and our driver's side. Bedsides now, you know, like I said, basically we're just repeating what we did over here. I like how this turned out. Like I had said before, probably gonna put a small, you know, slim, like, I don't know, 1/8 inch piece of probably angle iron, aluminum angle iron, and run up the bedside and just give it some more support. I'm actually pretty happy now because with some adjustments, we've got it. So the whole bedside's actually pretty flat, but we just might give it some more rigidity. Not 100% sure right yet, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. But yeah, the whole thing's pretty sturdy. I mean, just got a little flex here. It's actually hitting the cab up here, but we have to trim it anyway, straighten up some of these lines. But overall, I'm happy with how it all turned out. We stand and look at our truck. Yeah, not bad at all. So now we still have to do our fiberglass front clip here. We got to get everything so it just kind of jives like the back does, you know, get our gaps here right, make it so it's easy to get on our, I don't know if you'd call this the post for the push button latch, but yeah, so we have both bedsides fully mounted, ready to go. Might make a couple little adjustments, like I said, with the aluminum angle iron. Also maybe add something in here, you know, kind of get rid of this flex there. I don't know. It's all stuff that we can do down the line. It's not a big deal. I think it's definitely runnable as it is. Not that, you know, anything's open to run at if we had it done anyway. But anyhow, that project's done. Like I said, it's kind of monotonous. Doing a bedside is definitely, the bedsides were not one of my favorite jobs on this truck. The payoff, it's like when we did the front clip and I finally got it to tilt, you know, nice, big, good payoff. Looks cool. You know, hey, I figured, you know, we hit a roadblock. I figured it out. You know, we were able to push through. The bedsides, meh. Just, you know, I don't know. I mean, makes it look like a truck again and all, but just not the funnest thing in the world to do. So anyway, guys, moving along. It looks like a truck. Everything is mounted up. I think the truck, at least like body wise, could be drivable at a track if it was open. But we still have some refinements to make to, you know, kind of make everything right and 100%. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Get out in your garage, get the wrenching on your truck.